Hi there. Happy Cold Tuesday. Well, I've just been out to get my prescription. As you know, with all the kerfuffle, if you've been with me this last few days, I've changed my GP and I've changed the pharmacist, because the pharmacist was just, you know, when you really want to punch somebody in the face, but you won't because you're too much of a lady. But he has bugged me so many times at that pharmacy. Really, really annoyed me. You know, by making you wait, and then telling me they don't have them in stock. So I had enough. So changed doctors, changed prescriptions. The only problem is it's like way up seafront. And it was cold. But what a difference. I got welcomed into the chemist. Come in, you know, don't get off your scooter, love, you stay there, we'll get it for you, blah, blah, blah. Lovely lady, wonderful. Big difference. Well, there should have been a video yesterday, but, oh gosh, my nose is trickling. It's so cold outside that when you come in, your nose runs. Anyway, should have been a video yesterday. Got it all set up, going down the seafront. It would have been a pretty boring video, to be quite honest, because it's concrete, sea, concrete, sea. Hello, Rosie. Anyway, when I got back in and tried to upload it, my scooter, as you know, I've got the loaned scooter, and it screams. It goes, top of its voice. So between the sea going choo, choo, whatever it does, you couldn't hear me at all. And then my computer decided that the file was corrupt and it didn't want to upload it anyway. So whatever happened, end of story, there was no video. It would have been very boring anyway, because it's just concrete and sea. I was just trying to explain to you how boring my journey is when I'm going anywhere. But anyway, what have I got? Right. Going up the seafront. We've had snow, by the way. Never get snow in Fleetwood, they said. Oh, it never snows in Fleetwood. It's too cold. It's the salt from the sea. Never snows. Last night I went into the kitchen. I thought, it's a bit white out there. It was snowing. Anyway, yeah. And we go up the seafront today. Go past the boating lake. And there's a colony of ducks and swans. And two of the swans were in the middle of the road having an argument, a domestic dispute. I think they went at each other. Stopping the cars were going round them, trying to hoot them out of the way. So they came onto the pavement where I was and proceeded to have an argument with my scooter. They were in a rare old mood. They must have been really having a squabble. He must have been out all night or something. They were giving it, pecking at my legs, trying to get at me. I tell you, they're ferocious, them things. And they are so big. I didn't realise till you see it like inches away from you how big a swan actually is. Anyway, I managed to sort of back up a bit. They kept following me. Then I went sort of round them as quick as I could and left them still having a domestic in the middle of the pavement. So I came back a different way. Thought I'm not getting between man and wife or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I have been doing something. I've done the boho tops. I was trying to show you pictures of them before, but they didn't show up very well. I hope they show up even better today. I managed to block this one out a bit. It's still not, oh, do you know, it's still not showing up properly. They look so pasty, and they're not. They're pale, but they're not pasty, if you know what I mean. The pattern I didn't get at all. I paid for it. And I actually paid for the hat pattern, but I haven't made it. But there were parts of it I just did not understand what on earth she was talking about. Oh, sorry about that. That's my son having a groan upstairs. He's not in a good mood because they went out at the weekend. I think I told you. Somebody's broke the wing mirror on his camper van, so he's had to buy a new one. And this is the other one I've done. I like these colours because you know me with purples. I have put pictures of them on my Instagram and on my Facebook. So yeah. It's what got me crocheting again though. It did. Because you know me, I get bored with things and I cannot for the life of me do a blanket or anything like that. Ugh, God forbid. Ugh. I just like colourful crochet. I just like doing things that interest me. And if something that I'm making does not interest me, then, oh, she's got out again, Rosie. I just get bored with it. I am trying to finish off the hexagon jacket. I just hit a dead stop. And the buttons arrived for this cardigan, but they're not right. They're nice buttons, don't get me wrong. If you're in the UK and you want some very reasonably priced buttons, she's called Bluebellcraft. She's called Bluebellcraft from eBay. And yeah, I ordered quite a few buttons and I got one lot of free ones. I ordered, this is what I thought would have gone onto my cardigan, but they're a little bit too brown. My cardigan's like a rusty coloured orangey brown. Looks a bit orange on camera, but it's a bit more orangey brown. So I ordered some like brown buttons. Unwanted. You'll have to wait. So I ordered those in 2 sizes, but they're a bit too brown. They might do at a pinch, but until I can battle my way out to the shed. Paving stones have been ordered. Little stepping stones, I should say. Yeah, I got the brown in 2 sizes. I got them in smaller ones. These I think are 20 centimetres. 20 millimetres it'll be, not 20 centimetres, it'll be that big, wouldn't it? 20 millimetres, and the other ones were 25 millimetres. I also got some light coloured ones, and if, I don't know if you can see it, I'll put pictures of them on Facebook. They've got little flowers sort of painted onto them. And then I got, because I'm from Manchester, I got the bees, little bees. So, and then these are a bit smaller than I hoped. They're little cat or dog paw buttons, but they're a bit smaller than I thought. But they'll be nice for children, so they were little cat and dog paws. As I say, I'll put single pictures on Facebook and Instagram so you can see them properly. And the free ones I got, she asked me which ones did I want. I got teddy bears. All different coloured teddy bears. You can see the pink one, can't you? They're all assorted colours, little teddy bears. So they're from, I think she's called Bluebellcrafts. Yeah, Bluebellcraft, all one word. But they were very reasonable. I mean, they were like less than £3 for each bag. And there's kind of like 30, some of them have got 50 in, some have got 30 in, yeah. And I got a free pack. Because I bought 5, I think it was, I got a free pack. Not bad at all. Well, as you know, I've been battling with compression gloves. I had a really great pair that I bought many moons ago. They were crafting gloves and compression, and they were fantastic, but they wore out, they went bobbled, and they started coming apart and fraying, and to be honest with you, I don't know where they are. Anyway, I've been trying to get a new pair, and I keep getting these pairs of gloves. My son keeps saying, what do you keep ordering compression gloves for? So, because if they're not right, they're not right. So I ordered this pair. They were supposed to have copper. You can see it, copper. On the ends of the fingers, you know, and on the wrist. But they're very flimsy, which may not be a bad thing, except that the hands were too baggy and the fingers were too tight. Yeah, so they're not for me. This pair I can wear, although it is quite tight. They were medium, but they're more like a small, I think. Somebody said it looks like it's got pox. Smallpox or chicken pox or something. But they are quite tight. Anyway, today I finished up with this pair. They go further up my wrist. They're actually carpal tunnel gloves rather than, I've got Reynolds, or Reynards as Marina calls it, in one hand. And so I'm losing the sensation in my fingertips anyway. This is why I'm finding things difficult, because I can't pick things up, small things. You know, if I drop a sewing needle or anything, if I drop a button or anything, I can't pick it up with my left hand anymore because I can't feel the ends. It's progressive, it's to do with your diabetes, it's to do with circulation, it's to do with carpal tunnel, to be honest. Had this hand done for carpal tunnel many, many moons ago, and it's been okay. But I must admit my fingers get so cold, even though I'm wearing thermal gloves and everything on my scooter. I'm hoping when my new scooter comes and I've got the canopy that the wind won't be directly on my fingers and my hands and in my eyes. Yeah. I mean, the other day it was like little needles hitting my eyeball. I had to put sunglasses on. I must have looked a real twerp going down the road. You know, hat here, thing over here, glasses in the middle. Teaming it down with rain, and it comes. I've never known rain go sideways as much as it does here in Fleetwood. They call Manchester the rainy city, but my goodness, it has not stopped raining since we moved here. Anyway, I got these today. They just arrived via the trusty Amazon. And I paid a bit more for these, but I can feel already the difference, the compression. But it's funny, even though my fingertips get so cold, if my hand bit here is warm, my fingers are warm. I don't know what there is about it, but my fingers are fairly warm. So we'll see how we go, because it's supporting my wrist as well. So I'm quite impressed with these. They're called Screw Cat, or Scrod Cat, if you can see it. S-C-R-O-D, cat, Scrod Cat. I can't show it you because I can't bend my wrist that way around. So what am I doing at the moment? Well, I did start something, I haven't finished it. So I can't show you what it's like, you know. It's granny squares, and it's not a cushion, by the way. I don't do cushions either. Don't do blankets, don't do cushions. So you'll have to wait to see what it's like. But I'm using up all the bits and bags. I have a massive bag full. I don't know where it's gone down. Massive bag full of teeny weeny little balls of yarn, wool, whatever. That when I was making the throws. I've still got loads of full balls left from the throws in the shed, but I haven't been out to the shed since I got frozen when I went out the other day. So anyway, you'll have to wait and see what I'm making with that, but it's not a cushion, it's not a bag, and it definitely is not a blanket. So you'll have to wait and see. I like to keep you in suspense, but just imagine all these lovely tail ends I've got to sew in. That's the only problem. I do love doing granny squares, but that is the problem, sewing all the ends in. Yeah. Well, I did make it to Knit Club on Monday at the library. I did manage it, and I didn't actually get rained on. No, I didn't. It rained while I was in there, but luckily they have a very huge canopy that goes all the way around the library, where you can park your push bikes and park the scooter. So the scooter didn't get wet. So it wasn't too bad. It was cold, bitterly cold. You know, when you come in and you can't feel your feet even though you've got winter boots and socks on, you know, that kind of cold. I never realised it was so cold by the sea. Never realised. I'm meant for tropical climes. I think I told you that before. Not the 100-degree kind of tropical climes, but, you know, the 80s. I quite like the 80s. I kind of come alive and don't have any trouble with my rainbows when it's, you know, sunny like that. Don't have any trouble at all. But winter, you know, when I'm driving along down the seafront on my scooter, I feel like my fingers have actually dropped off with frostbite. I know that's an exaggeration, they haven't, but that's what they feel like. And I keep curling them into a ball and putting them inside my coat and trying to steer with one hand, you know. Every time you hit a pothole, you sort of go. I will be so glad when this new scooter arrives. Because this one makes this whiny noise. It's really high-pitched whine. That's probably why my computer didn't like that video I made. Because the high-pitched whine, it drowned out my voice. But for some reason or other, it just said the file was corrupt or something. It played played back on my camera, but it wouldn't transmit onto my computer. In any case, it would have been boring because you wouldn't have even heard what I was saying. So I give that a miss. Give that a miss. You'll have to guess what it's like on the seafront. It would be alright if I was walking, I think, and filming, because you'd be able to, the camera would be near my mouth kind of thing. Then you wouldn't have the bumping of the scooter and the whine of the scooter. Because I have to put the camera like onto the sort of handlebars, if you want to, whatever you want to call them, the steering gear. So it's away from my mouth, so you know, I need it closer if it's noisy. And the wind was blowing as well. I did have a GoPro camera at one time, but I couldn't get the hang of it at all. Could not get the hang of it at all. So I gave it my son, and I don't know where it went after that. I need one of those, you know, that cars have a dashboard cam. You know, in case of an accident, they just record everything, don't they? I could do one of them. They're probably expensive though. Excuse me, I'm just drinking my OXO while it's still got some warmth in it. I do love my OXO cubes on a cold day. That all started at school, actually. We used to go crocodile style swimming. You had to walk in a crocodile to go to the swimming baths. And it was like communal type changing rooms. It was a very, very old bath. It was probably something you could record if it was still, it's been modernised since then. If it was still as it was, they could record a very old series, like set in the 40s, 30s, even the 20s. It was so old, the baths. As I said, we used to walk in this little crocodile all the way. And then, of course, your mums didn't have bath towels in those days. They would give you a little towel, which was never big enough to warm you up. And I had very, very long hair back in the day. So my hair was always dripping wet. And for some reason, we never went for swimming lessons in the summer. We always went for swimming lessons in the winter. So, you know, we'd be trying to get dried with this tiny little towel and trying to put your clothes on while you were still damp. My hair would be dripping wet through. No such thing as hair dryers back in the day. You know, I mean, now they have them in most leisure centres, don't they? Even if you have to pay, there was at least a hairdryer, but there never was back in the day. We used to have to wear swimming hats, but they didn't keep your hair dry. Anyway, coming out, I think the people who ran the swimming baths used to feel sorry for us. So they used to have OXO, and you got a couple of cream crackers. I think we had to pay a penny in the old money, 1D penny. Or it might have been 2 pennies, I don't know. But if you didn't have the penny, they still used to feel sorry for you and used to give you a little bit of OXO anyway. So that's where it all started, my love of an OXO cube and hot boiling water. And now people think I'm peculiar because I love my OXO cube. Love to drink it. My ex-husband was brought up with an OXO cube as gravy. And when we married and I tried to make him different gravy, he didn't want it. He just wanted OXO cube for his gravy. The way he was brought up, I guess. Anyway, I'm warming up now. I've lit the fire. So I'm going to go back to my Granny Square mystery. Maybe I'll have it finished by the time you see me next. Although I won't be taking it with me to knit club tomorrow because you can't take loads of balls of wool with you, you know. I did manage to take my knitting with me. I did an 8 rows at the library. So I like to do like 8 rows because that's what the pattern is. I don't like leaving it in the middle of a pattern with me. So I managed to do 8 rows. Excuse me. So I'm hoping they'll go to knit club tomorrow. I have to go to knit club tomorrow no matter what the weather is, because I have to go to Cleveland's anyway. I've had this little teeny weeny mole in the middle of my back. It's colourless. I've had it since I went to Tenerife, or was it Tenerife? Yeah. Tenerife, Lanzarote. Tenerife, I think. About 30 years ago. I blamed it on the sun or whatever. And everybody who's looked at it since says, oh, it's just a patch of dry skin, just a patch of dry skin. Moisturise it. Well, I've been moisturising it for 30 years and it's nothing. Anyway, I read about it on, because it's gone very itchy, so I read about it on Google and it said it's something to do like a rodent ulcer. It's not likely to be cancerous, it's just annoying. So I'm going tomorrow to have it assessed to see whether I can have it taken off. Not on the NHS, of course, because they don't do cosmetic surgery. You know, I mean, I wouldn't have thought, like, looking at a mole was to see if it's okay or not. Would be classed as cosmetic surgery, you know. It could be a dodgy mole, because I can't see it, it's in the middle of my back. You try doing the parade with the mirrors and, you know, I'm not that, you know, my hands don't go past sort of there, so I'm not very good with trying to hold one mirror and look at it through another mirror. I even tried with the camera one time, trying to get the camera around the back to see if I could video it and see what it looked like, but no success. I asked my daughter-in-law to look at it and she said, oh, it's just a patch of dry skin, so I thought, here we go again. It's not, obviously not a patch of dry skin. So that's what I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to have it assessed to see whether it is anything, nothing, whether it can be taken off. We'll see, we'll see. I've got a dangly mole in the middle of my back, and when I had my spinal op, you know, they had to cut right up the centre of my back, like, I thought, they'll take it away. No, they went past it. So my scar, instead of being in a straight line, my scar goes like that. I thought, they could have took the mole off while they were at it, couldn't they? You know, they could have, it's not a nasty, I've had it since I was born. My mother had one exactly in the same place. But I was really upset when I came to look at the scar, when I'd had my back done. And I looked at the scar, because the scar was like horrendous, it was all down the back of my back. And I thought, oh, bum. I thought, I've still got my mole. But I've had it that long and it doesn't get in my way. But I've got another one just under my arm that does get in the way of my bra, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't bleed, it doesn't do anything. It just annoys me that it's there. So they might do two for the price of one, you know, when I go to get me mould and I say, I've got this here and I've got that there and I've got blah, 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 blah. How much is it to have them all taken away? Because I've got one on my back, one there, one in the middle of my back, that's 3. I've got something fully on my lip there, so that's like 4. So maybe she'll do me a 4 for 2. 4 for 3. A deal. All I can do is ask. So by the time I've gone down to this place, it's in Cleveland, it's only like 2 minutes to go to the knit club at the Methodist at Cleveland. So that's, I'll be going if it's raining or rain, hail, shine, I'll be going. So I just hope I don't get too wet. Roll on February when I get my scooter with the, only with the fringe on top. I think I told you the other one's gone. The big one has, the Pope-mobile, has gone. Yay! Gone, gone, gone. Yeah. Well, I've managed to be so far not buying any wool since Christmas. It wasn't a New Year's resolution. I think I told you I don't make them because I know I'm going to break them. So I don't make them. But I made a list of goals, what I would like to do. A to-do list, a goal list, whatever you want to call it. And one of them was, you know, to sort out stuff in the shed, sort out what I can or what I don't really need to keep. Although I don't do that Marie Kondo stuff, you know, where you're supposed to pick something up and say, if it doesn't speak to you, if you don't like it, you know, get rid of it. Sadly, none of my wool talks to me like that. my wool, yarn, whatever you want to call it, goes, oh yeah, that's nice, Janet, you could make that into such a thing, couldn't you? That would be nice. So it doesn't talk to me and say get rid of me. Other things say get rid of me, but not that. As I said, I need to get in that shed. I keep saying it, but the weather's been so dire. But apparently my stepping stones to go to the shed are in the pipeline. We ordered them once, apparently. I didn't know, but they ordered them once, like little paws. And they didn't come. They've tried and tried to get their money back. I don't know where they ordered them from, but anyway, they've given up and they've ordered different ones. Now, whether they're going to be paws or whether they're just going to be circles or whether they're going to be square, I won't know until they arrive. But all I can say is it will be a godsend when it's been raining, because there is nothing worse than trudging through wet grass to get where you're going. Yeah. Because my shed floor desperately needs a mop now because of all the stuff I've trudged in. I got a doormat and I do wipe my feet, but you still trudge all sorts in. But I've not got to the stage of having flooring put in there yet. It's just the flooring that came with the shed. I haven't got to the Axminster rug stage, although I might do, you know, might be warmer in there than I do. Get some kind of a cheaper rug of some description. Yeah. I'm still looking for a hearth rug because I had an accident. I thought I was raking the coals and everything, and one must have spit out that was still glowing, and it burnt a hole in my carpet. But it's my fault, so I'm not getting a new carpet or anything like that. This is only, 2 years old? No, it's not even 2 years old. It's about 14, 15 months old, this carpet, so I'm not getting another carpet. I shall just get a bigger hearth rug and put it in front. But trying to get a hearth rug that's not like this big, which for me would be a trip hazard, because if it's a thick hearth rug I would just trip over it. But to get a small hearth rug is like nigh on impossible. I've been to 3 different carpet shops and said, do you do hearth rugs? And they show me a rug that's like, you know, you put your furniture on it, it's massive, you know, with fringing on it. And I'm like, no, I can't have anything with fringing on it because, you know, the dogs would probably chew all the end of it. They'd think it was snack time, yeah. So, yeah, I'm still looking for a hearth rug. I found a few, you know, on Amazon. When you look at the reviews, some of the reviews are absolutely panning it, you know, saying they're a load of rubbish, don't buy them, they're this, they're that, they're the other. So I think I'd like to go to somewhere where I can actually see it, you know, to buy it, feel it, you know, see how squashy it is, and to buy it. And then maybe at the same time I would see a rug for my shed. I shall have to write the dimensions if ever we go anywhere, like IKEA or something. But IKEA is like a day trip away from here, yeah. It's just such a long way to go. You know, it's hours in the car. I don't do car journeys really well, I get bored. That's why I never go back. I could go back with my daughter-in-law on a Tuesday, when she goes back to Bury and that. I could go. But I'd have to find somewhere to go all day until she came back again, because she goes to see her grandchildren and stuff like that. Oh, there's me mem saying, shut up, Janet. I shall update you what I'm making with the granny squares, and I will say goodbye for now when I find my little zapper, and hope this uploads because the other one didn't.